Good morning, everyone,
Good.
as you come rolling on
Morning.
in Substack and YouTube and Twitch. It is it is good to have everyone with us. I'm Nick Perro. It's Monday morning, which means it's chronically illing out with my friends, Beth Cruz, Soso's World with Soso, and Stephanie Wilson. Good morning, everyone. How
Good
are you all
morning.
today? What do you think of the new show title?
I really like it.
Same.
How's everyone feeling today?
Uh,
Loaded
really? You're going to
question.
ask us that?
Loaded question for a Monday morning. How are y'all feeling today? Um,
I
as
don't
we
know when I
talk about
woke up.
remembering the mind and taking care of ourselves mentally. But Stephanie also had another idea for remembering the mind. But loaded question: how is everyone kind of feeling on this day?
Want me to start?
Yeah,
Start
go for it,
still
Steph.
trying to
Oh
figure out
yeah.
my
Hi everyone. I'm still trying to grab in the chat, but something is super. Anyways, but yeah. So a little bit scattered. My mind is scattered. My body is absolutely exhausted because I have been. The few weeks have been hard. I've been moving, so I am officially out of Quebec City. Our sold. We handed out the keys last Friday, and now I'm like just looking at all the boxes in my new place, and I'm like, yeah, I just want to crawl back into bed for a whole month. So I should say my body feels like it just want to be on, stop full gear, but my mind is pretty good actually. So interesting, how you can be dissociated like that. How's everyone else?
I haven't slept well at all. I'm here. I'm happy to be here. Tired,
Good.
exhausted this morning, but yeah, hurting a little bit today. Yeah.
I get
Otherwise,
that.
I'm glad to see all of you guys and everyone in the chat.
Yeah. I'm well medicated. Let's just say that.
That's a good answer too.
My head
Um,
just stopped hurting after, a couple hours after taking medicine, but, and a shower that helped too. So,
I'm doing well too, and I'm tired. I built a shed, or finished building up a shed over the whole week. I built a platform for it, leveled it, built a shed on top of it. My wife and my kids helped me finish it this weekend. It took all day on Saturday to finish, and it was a beautiful day. So we had a lot of fun out on our new property, um, and which I'm really glad we finished because it decided to rain a little bit this morning here in Arkansas. All of a sudden, it was like kind of cloudy, and then all of a sudden, it was just flooding down rain for like 5 minutes, and then it stopped.
Ooh.
It's not random, Christina. I build a shit. I can build things. It is kind of random, yes. I get it. Most people aren't like, "Hey, Nick's going out and building a shed," but that's why I don't really respond in the afternoons when people send me stuff. Is I'm normally on my property building stuff or taking um, clearing land. What are you avoiding by talking about sheds? I'm avoiding the fact that my body fucking hurts because I built a shed. And we decided to talk about today remembering the mind. Or I decided that because it's also a good thing to remember. No, it's okay, Christina. That's why we talk back and forth with you guys because it's fun. Is we sometimes forget our mind and we push ourselves way too far, and at least that's where I want to talk about it on this one. Is no, don't apologize, Christina. I like the banter back and forth. That's part of the show. That's why I like when you guys talk with us. So no, it is random that I built a shed. But I pushed my ass too far doing it. And my body hurts a lot, but my mind is really tired too. Like I can't think past the afternoon. Like it hits like 3 or 4 o'clock, and I'm like, oh, I'm done.
Oh, you
There's
make it a
so
couple
much.
hours more than I do.
Yeah, I was gonna say the same thing. I was like, you make it till what?
Well, I kind of have to.
Impressive.
So I have to push myself. I push myself through it a lot most days because like that's why I don't do afternoon shows. Is because I don't have the mind for it.
Where does that leave you mentally then? It's just at the end of the
I
day,
do.
you
I can do physical stuff by the end of like working on my property and doing things like that isn't a negative for me. Like I'm tired and hurting
Totally.
because I did good work and I feel accomplished by it. So I'm not
absolutely.
upset that I'm hurting. I just know I pushed myself too far and probably should have done it over Saturday and Sunday instead of trying to just get it done on Saturday.
Yeah.
Um,
Mhm.
I would have been feeling better had I done that, but I don't regret doing it.
Well,
Good.
I get the reward. You know, you kind of get a mental reward that you accomplished something that you were even it. And I don't know. Do you guys feel like because you know how much of a toll it's going to take on your body that like mentally you're kind of like wow you know you kind of give yourself a medal in your head like
Yeah.
'cause remember Stephanie I'd mentioned something to you another day where I said sometimes I mean we appear normal as you know I for those who don't know me I suffer from fibromyalgia like Beth and Nick and Stephanie has chronic migraines. And basically, I was saying like sometimes we're like you know it's not like we're missing an arm or something, but we do feel handicapped. And when you do these things, and for you, you know how much it took a toll. You're like you don't you're like it's too bad sometimes that other people don't realize that something that seems kind of like casual for them is actually really hard for you to do so
Yeah,
Hmm.
yeah. Like I know I have friends who probably would have built the shed and been like, "Yeah, I feel great. This was easy. It took me a couple hours." Me, I was like, I have to slowly and methodically sit here and do this one part of the task, and then slowly get up and move around and get
Oh,
prepped and ready for the next part, and then slowly move to the next part. Like it's not a fast process. Like I built a shed that most people say they can build in 2 days based on the reviews of it because it's like tiny little screws and stuff. That took me a week, like
Well,
seven
yeah.
7 or 8 days, and I was like, that's that's a good accomplishment because I slowed myself down to do it rather than
yeah.
trying to
Well,
do it in
plus
two
you
days.
also, when you slow yourself down like that, you're doing things in manageable chunks, I think, which
Yeah.
can sometimes be hard for us to like stop ourselves from doing the whole thing um, at once or to get so overwhelmed that you can't even start. Like,
Yeah.
so I think that's a really healthy way to do it.
Yeah, I think for me, I mean, when I schedule what I'm going to do, like if I'm going to go out for the day, whether it be shopping or, you know, just taking a day trip, I have to schedule what the next day or so is going to be like and plan it to be down because I likely will be, which is just so frustrating, you know, like my husband got down the tree and I can decorate a tree within hours. And I said, I'm going to need it because it's going to take me days just to decorate my Christmas tree. And that used to be so upsetting, but I really have to realize that it's just exhausting physically. And if I exhaust myself physically, then I just feel mentally exhausted. So,
you
you
have
know,
to
just,
sort of accept that doing these
Mhm.
things that you used to do just casually it's now you
Yeah.
have to take little breaks and kind of like uh, divide them into smaller tasks I guess Kind of
Yeah.
like kids, when you when you're teaching them to do things. Okay, one thing at a time. First do
Right.
this, then do that,
Mhm.
then do
Yeah,
this.
I used to say to my son, "How do you eat an elephant? One bite at a time." And he still has trouble with that, but I feel like so I am so surprised that you are even upright. Like
Mhm.
after mm, when I eventually move, I feel like I'm not going to be able to move for weeks. Like,
Honestly, I will tell you that this is almost why I've been not going on Substack. Like, I mean, I do open it and I read, but then I start feeling guilty because I'm like, oh, I should reply to this, I should reply to that, and then I just, it's like I just kind of like I read a little bit of the news, and it's like, but I did rest a lot. Like, it's like I have just moments where I'll just crash down. Like I know, like after this, I'll just be going back to the couch or maybe taking off contact lenses and sleep. So, but you're right.
Mhm.
I mean, it is a big thing. Moving, especially with a chronic pain, something that causes you pain. I find that if everything could be mental, wow, we're talking about not forgetting the mind, but in our case, it's like anything that's physical work. It's already like it feels like then it adds a mental load because you're like, how am I gonna react? How am I gonna
Yeah.
be? Am I gonna be able to go to just do it to just finish the task?
Yeah.
Yeah, I think for like bringing it into today's discussion, the fact that I remembered to do it and mentally planned to do it over a week's period rather than trying to do it in a day or two was me actually thinking about remembering my own mind, because I would have like I'm exhausted mentally by the end of the day,
Mm.
before the end of the day.
Mhm.
But like the physical labor, I purposely planned for it, and I was like, I'm gonna do this because I know it's the right way to do it for myself. Um, and so I remembered to like only be there for a certain amount of hours each day. I didn't go there too long every time I went. And if I missed a day during it, I wasn't mad. Like I was like, it's okay that I stayed home on like Wednesday or whatever day it was because I was tired and I didn't need to go out there. So I think that was kind of remembering my mind in all of this, is like actually planning for it. And I know you guys, so for those in the chat and those who listen after, they don't, what you might not know is we all just talk in the background and hang out as friends anyway on with each other. So we chat all the time, which is part of the point of all of this. Was I made 3 new friends who have chronic illnesses who I really enjoy talking to and hanging out with. And I wanted some of our conversations to be public, others to be, private for us. Steph and I get it to work.
Yeah. You guys got it.
Um,
Nick,
I guess
and
the only one I
can I
can get
get
to
you
work.
to just answer because it would be a good moment to answer? There's
yeah,
someone who said, "Is what is this?" You saw the question in the chat.
no, I did not.
Somebody who said, "What is this group about?"
Oh,
Yes.
what is this group about? Is for those who are new, is Chronically Illing Out is a discussion group and uh, engagement forum for people who have chronic illnesses and who are actively wanting to talk about them or find a space where they can talk about them. And we encourage discussion in the chat. We engage with everyone who's in with us. And it's just about finding a space that we can talk with each other and be visible, and tell each other about our experiences, um, get feedback from each other.
Mhm.
This is not getting into religion. There's um, we we don't. I'm atheist, agnostic at best. Like I don't really give a shit what you believe as long as it's not hurting people. Um, if
Mhm.
you're If your religion makes you a good person, then I like your religion. If your religion makes you a bad person, then you're in the wrong religion, or you're in the wrong part of your faith group, and maybe you need to talk about that. But that's not the place here. Like, we don't really talk about religion here because this is about chronic illness, and how we live through it and how it impacts our lives. Like,
I,
not
I
everything
will
has to be
say,
politics.
I will say meditating, if you want to add that in there. I mean, if you want,
Mhm.
if you're tired, if you meditating, if you bring that into your illness journey, it can help. Breath work,
Funny,
all of those things.
funny you say that. My group therapy, actually, one way I think about this also too, for those who are here, is this is a group therapy session
Nice.
for all
Yeah.
of us without a therapist in charge. It's just us putting our therapy practices together from our personal experiences with therapy and talking with each other. Um, One of the things we do in our group therapies is it always starts with a meditation. Maybe we should start next week to start our group every week with just a simple meditation, where we do
Oh, I
something
would love to write
and
a
all
meditation
participate
for
in.
next week.
I'd love that. And we'll
That
start
I'll
with
sounds
do that.
a
wonderful, Beth.
yeah,
I would
Well,
love to do that.
It's funny, but I wouldn't do it right away at the beginning. I would kind of
maybe
like,
towards the end, in the
yeah,
middle,
yeah. What do you guys think?
whatever. I think it's great.
Hmm.
I think it would be great to have it in here.
Yeah, I do too.
Because first you kind of like, you kind of, you're more active, and then it's like something is out, and then afterwards you kind of like, I don't know. It's just, it feels
I
like in
think
the,
So it would be
it
like
does help. Go
in the
ahead.
middle when our energy starts to flag, it would be like a place and a time to sort of rebuild our energy for the second half of the show or something like that.
oh, that could
Yeah,
be, yeah.
yeah, I like that.
Like a few
And
minute
like
time out. Ooh, I
Oh,
love it.
it's
that's
kind
really
of a mind body moment, and like I know this is just the practice I have a lot of, is emotional distress tolerance and
Mm.
mindfulness therapy. And my emotional distress tolerance group always starts with um, there's a little introduction, but then our one of our leaders always starts um, with a meditation she's picked out, and it's awesome. I love. It's also through the VA, which is amazing, and it's
Mm.
a socialized healthcare service,
Hmm.
and it would be part of a social democracy if everybody could have access to that. So, if we want to get into politics for just a second, is
healthcare for everyone.
socialized healthcare for all through taxpayer funded access, tax the rich, tax the billionaires, tax the corporations, and provide everybody with universal health care through taxpayer funding. I get it through the VA. Everyone should have access to it, and better. Like, if we paid for it with taxes, everybody would have access to the world's most amazing healthcare system. We literally have the best doctors in the world in the US, or we did until we decided to push them
I think
away.
and
But
they're concentrated differently geographically as well.
mhm. So
Mm.
if we actually encouraged healthcare to come into the States by mandating it as universal coverage everywhere, every state would have an influx of new doctors and nurses and hospitals, and people would have care that's preventative rather than emergency or responsive. And so, yeah, that's what I want. That's what I advocate for,
Mhm.
is a universal healthcare system that takes care of everybody through a progressive tax code. I've been I was on a tangent this morning. So I woke up this morning and picked a fight, I guess. I picked someone's nerve, at least, because I said that the Republican Party should be considered the regressive Republican Party. And they're like, this is just a branding exercise. You're normalizing strategy over empathy. And I was like, you have never listened to a single thing I do then, because yes, this is a branding exercise. I'm allowed to do both. Like, I
Mhm.
can do two things at once. I can walk and chew gum and talk. I can do three things.
Wow, three things.
Like, I can do up to three things. That's about it at one time. You get me to four things and I fucking fall apart. Um, but I have to have two to three tabs going at one time or I'm not functioning. If
Okay,
I'm
that's
on
so
one
fair.
tab, if I ever get to one tab, that's like I'm like hyper focus, and that's bad. That's
Well,
I have 13 tabs right now. Go ahead.
bad.
uh, I'm on the shared computer, and all my tabs always crash. So, but I was talking with two people, one of whom was here yesterday, about how those of us who are so tuned in on the politics stuff, it's almost, and maybe, some sort of neuro spicy hyper focus, because not everyone has to pay attention all the time
You're right.
to politics. Like, some people can screen it out or just let a little bit in.
Hmm.
But on the other side, we're here doing something about it. So,
Mhm.
that balances it out. But when I thought about that, I thought, wow, you know, it is almost, it's not almost a compulsion. It is a compulsion to
It
like
is a
check what happened overnight when I first wake up. Like,
Yeah.
that's the first thing I
Hmm.
do. And
Mhm.
it would be awesome if I didn't have to do that. But the only time I can not do that is when I'm on vacation. And then I feel like I've missed a week of the world.
But it's so interesting what you're describing, Stephanie, because I mean, people don't know, if you don't know me, I live in Quebec, so I'm not in the States. I am your Canadian friend, and I am
Our
very
Canadian support person.
yes, but I feel really concerned, and it's the same as you guys. That people are like, "Why do you care about politics so much?" I mean, you should see my daughter. She's like, "What, Mama?" And I'm like, "But it's so important, because whatever happens in the state is going to impact us in 5 years. Okay, at the most, like maybe now faster, but and it does feel like I'm hyper focusing on that, like."
Mhm.
So I guess this is why also taking care of my mind is trying to focus on other things, not just
Hmm.
politics, not just like checking out what's the last stupid thing that or what's the last crazy.
Mhm.
I'm saying crazy, but it's like, do you feel like it's almost like you're getting pissed off because these things happen and you're like, I don't want to say it's your fix, but it's like the next morning you're like, this happened, oh gosh, like you get
Well,
pissed off and it's almost like a reward somehow, which is not,
well,
it's
it's
doesn't
like
make sense.
it's dopamine, right? We all
Dopamine hits.
survive on dopamine hits, and every time you like either read something that gets you going or read something that um you know makes you happy, whatever, it's all a dopamine hit. I have this split where I want to have my platform be bigger and interview a lot of people and grow the community, and then another piece of me that's like, why the hell am I putting my identity so open out there that, you know, like, I have those two pieces that wants to say, I don't need to do this. And if I don't do it like one week or another, like, it's okay. And the other piece that's like, I must be plugged in at all times.
I
Yeah.
feel the same way. Mhm. And I was thinking, when you talking about the mind and everything, and I was thinking, is in the current political crisis, nightmare, whatever you want to call it, um, I find that I cannot turn away. I just can't. I feel like I have to watch it. But of course, that brings its own problems, of stress, anxiety. It increases my anxiety. So I think it's really important to get meditation in if you can, even if it's just quieting your mind for a moment. I struggle, ADD, I struggle to quiet my mind. Um, but I think it's just a necessity to be able to process. Otherwise, I'm not taking care of my mind in this moment. And
Right.
I think that it's become so normalized to so many, the actions of this regime that we don't realize. Like outside Canada is probably like, what the hell, America? You know, what the hell, US? What's going on? But it's when you're in it, it's you don't realize how bad it is until you realize it. You know what I mean? Did I just make sense or no?
I mean, it's a little bit of a circular argument, but it makes a lot of sense.
Should I go all over on that?
probably-
Well, you know, you don't realize it until you step away for a minute.
Yeah,
and then you're like, oh, my life could be different. You know, like, and that may mean like
but then are
needing
you
something
just
else.
ignoring? Because I feel like
It's
you have
it's
to pay
not
attention right now. There's
ignoring. It's not
yeah,
ignoring.
you
to
can't look
take a
away
break.
from this, right?
No, you
But you have
can.
to like have times when you're
Mhm.
looking away, or else.
Yeah. It's like, so think of it.
I mean, for like
in
weeks at a
inform-
time. I couldn't do that for weeks at a time. I
But
can do it for
no.
hours at a time.
Yeah, maybe a day. Day or two. You have to think of it as an information war that we're fighting right now.
Mhm.
Like we're to get off topic of politics, or off topic of mental. Well, no, totally on
No, it's-
topic. For saving your mental health, you have to think of this as a information war, because that's what it is.
It is.
Yes.
One, Russia
Mhm.
is attacking the United States, and we are in an information war right now. And they have subverted our government with a plant. And the Epstein files that are coming out are showing us that. We have to be willing to step away from that for our own mental health. Just like in the battlefield, just like in on the ground battlefields where you have soldiers and service members and Marines, is we rotate troops there too. Not everybody is on the front line at all the same time. You, even in a battle or in a war, and you're always sort of kind of on,
Mhm.
you get moments of rest and you take them. And like when I was downrange, we had a PlayStation or an Xbox, whatever the latest one was there, and a pool table. And we would play pool in the middle of the afternoon when we weren't working. Games and over and over and over and over, just to get our minds off things. We played
Grounding.
spades,
It's very
or
grounding.
it was disassociation in some ways, but it was grounding ourselves, and we would have conversations that were outside of we're in war and in the war itself, so that our minds could reset, so that when we went out for our next event or our next mission, or somewhere on base for our next mission, we were ready for it. We were able to relax. So I think it's okay to shut it out for a little while, because you're recharging your mental empathy or your emotional bucket and your mental health.
Unless you're neurospicy.
Well,
Well,
even
harder.
if you're
It's more
neurospicy.
difficult when you're
it's more
neurospicy.
difficult. Yeah. That you have to be able to take that break. Like, that's why I don't do things on weekends. That's why I don't try not to do so much in the afternoon, because I have kids. Like, I want to spend time with my kids too.
Mhm.
Well, they still
'Cause
want to spend
even-
time with you because that changes.
Well, one of them doesn't really want to spend time because she's almost a teenager, and she has been acting like a teenager since she was 3. We called her a three-nager when she was that age. And I don't think she ever grew out of it. But that's she and I watch anime together all the time. Like, I do things like that just to disassociate from, or not disassociate, but to relax from what's going on, or find things that are fun. It's okay to have fun and joy while the world is trying to burn around us, because
Yeah.
then we're compelled to keep fighting for something.
Yeah,
That's
and
why I only watch like when I watch things on movies or TV, it has to be a period piece. It cannot be anything related to reality, because that's not far enough away. It's why I read
Mhm.
fantasy, because I need it to be not our world. But
That makes
you know, like right now I'm having a really hard time finding good books to read, and that's partially because I can't focus on anything because my mind can't settle, like, so there's like, it's both sides, kind of a both and. Like sometimes that's what I do, but sometimes I can't because of just the thing that makes it the most necessary.
And if I can add, it's just
I
an
agree.
aside, but if you read fantasy, and because I read a lot of fantasy too, I mean, it always will come back to somehow feelings of dread. Somebody can save the world. You're gonna own a shed. It's like they're
Yeah, but at
recurring
least there's
themes.
magic,
At least it's magic, and you can get shortcuts and it. Woo-hoo. But no, there's
I
it
would
does. Yeah, go ahead.
I would recommend the Belgariad if you haven't listened to it or read it before. The entirety of the Belgariad.
Okay, can you like write that down for me somewhere?
Yes.
Not in the chat where I will lose it, but
yeah, I'll write it down.
I'll come back to you. I'll come back to you.
I'll get back to you later. We'll circle around to this if we remember it.
Yeah. Okay.
When we watch the replay, remember it.
Yes.
Timestamp.
Yes.
31 minutes and 32 seconds. The Belgariad.
I went back to the Dragon Riders of Pern.
Yeah.
I don't know if you guys remember those. They were written in like the late 60s. And my husband said, oh, it stands up really nicely. And I just find the main character too obnoxious. I can't do it. But like, I feel like I get through all of the new stuff, or I don't know. Like I need more, I need more things to check out with.
Yeah.
Nikki, yeah, I'm having concentration problems when I sit to read. Although, one of my authors like released like 7 chapters of something yesterday, and I actually just was able to relax and read it. It was really nice.
I'm gonna share something. My husband, he chills out the entire, November, December with Hallmark movies. Yes.
You're out. Wow, Beth. Okay, so you know who I'm going to have on in like a month from today is a woman who just released a book today about how Christmas movies were made in the 50s and 60s in response to McCarthyism, and how it changed the culture around it was intended to influence the culture by being like really, happy and anodyne. And I think that's like kind of the Hallmark thing. So, but I'm going to be talking to her in a month about exactly how like this mass cultural piece really influences how people think about the world. Because I think that's a really big piece that we often, it's like why I want to try to talk about when I try to talk about politics without talking about politics. I'm trying to figure out a way into that, because we can't talk about politics all the time, and we don't reach a certain number of people if that's what we're talking about. But if we're talking about books, or if we're talking about movies, or for making movies, whatever, writing books, then that's another way to talk about values without talking about politics.
If I can bringing an idea that I just had, we tend to, and when I was younger, I remember I was very much into fantasy novels, and it feels like I needed to escape somehow. But as I'm growing older, and because with fibromyalgia, you'll tend to sort of like, stop moving because you're always afraid of pain. And my now is an escape into reality, which is I moved in a place that is surrounded by the trees, the forest. I'll go out in nature. And I wanted to send you guys an article. There is an article that came out that Nordic walking, which is just walking with sticks, with the hiking sticks, has a benefit for pain. It's beneficial. And they did studies on the impact on chronic pain. So why is it that as much as possible, you need to just go out there and move, even if it's just like 10 minutes, just start with 10 minutes. And when you're walking, you don't have a choice. You have to look where you're going. So it's more as if your mind wanders, but at the same time, you're kind of like you're focused shifts us into what happens, like,
Mhm.
Touching grass is really important for your mind and your brain
Yeah.
to reset. Like I finished up the shed on, actually, I'm kind of glad I finished up the shed on Saturday rather than yesterday, because I ended up going out to the property with my dogs, and my snake. He went on a walk too.
Oh,
Um,
really? Did you have him on a
yeah,
leash or did he just follow along?
no, I had him wrapped around my neck,
Oh, okay.
so that he was in a safe spot, so that he couldn't get onto the ground. Um, but he walked around with us, me and my three dogs, as we just walked through the forest, and I literally touched grass and trees, and I cleared out some pathways and started putting like footprints down so that I can like make trails for us, because we have a lot of land that I'm starting to clear out. And so I touched grass for a while yesterday, and I just walked around. I didn't do a lot of work. I
Nice.
really I took my weed whacker out there and I weed whacked some spots so that it was easier to walk through, and just a little bit of
And
clumps.
you
And
didn't
then
take
it,
your machete? Come on. Nick, I'm so surprised
no,
and a little bit
the
disappointed.
my weed whacker has an 8-inch brush hog blade on the bottom of it, so it
Okay,
does a
that's
lot more
fair.
damage than a machete. Um, it's a little saw that I'm just scything. It's more of a scythe. It's like a mechanical scythe more than anything right now. So I did bring my machete,
Okay.
just
All
on
right,
a big
that's fair.
pebble and
Nikki,
spinning in a circle.
yeah. My mother-in-law had a walker that was like called a rollator, I think. So she could be supported and move pretty quickly. And she absolutely loved that when she broke her pelvis back. I don't know whatever it
Mm.
was that she broke. She breaks everything all the time. So if you could find one that's like rolly, that could be fun.
Well, and I want to shout out someone in the chat today, our friend Eric, who is one of my founding subscribers now. Thank you, Eric, for becoming a founding subscriber.
Oh,
I
thank you,
truly
Eric.
appreciate it. I may want to invite you on for one of these shows, because the work you do, and I don't want to out any information that you don't want to say other than what I've just said about this. But if you're interested in coming on for a show and meeting all of us and talking, I'd love to get your opinion on here too. And if anyone in the chat, phrasing. Sorry, I don't do
we have
interviews.
sushi. We have sushi.
Mhm.
It was mentioned before. I noted that she said that she'd like to come on and share about her condition.
Oh, absolutely.
I would love to meet Sushi. Yeah.
Sushi, if you
Mhm.
want to come on next week, I'd be glad to have you on for our show. Be a guest with us. I'll send you all the information and everything you need to do, if that's something you'd want to do.
Yeah, she says yes.
Well, awesome. Thanks. We'll see you next week, Sushi. So,
Oh, Eric
Eric, you
said
said
he'd
you'd be
be
thrilled. It's
thrilled.
an honor too.
Wow.
So we're gonna have, let's split you guys into 2 weeks. And Eric will do the week after Thanksgiving. We'll plan with you guys so that we can all get things going. I'd love to build up this group. Like that's part of all of this, and like one of the main things I want to do. So again, introducing, now that we have 260 people
Wow.
plus in the
What?
audience. So we have 260 on Substack. We have 2 people in some of our other chats, either YouTube or Twitch. Thank you for being here on our other platforms too. This is the Sick of This Show, Chronically Illing Out. I'm Nick Perro with my friends Beth Cruz, Soso, and Stephanie Wilson, who we just talk about chronic illness and how it impacts us, and how it impacts everybody else, but also building a community that is actively together and working and helping each other, and making real friendships. I didn't know either of these 3 amazing women before this, and now I do. And my life is better because of it. and I have 3 new friends. So
Mm.
this is something that I want to continue doing for all of us, like not just our 3 friends here, my 3 friends here,
Yes.
but adding more friends in,
Mhm.
um, building our community just overall, like
Mhm.
people who subscribe to us. Like if you haven't already, hit the subscribe button in the Chiron in the top left corner of your screen and subscribe to everybody who's with me today. Like the these are 3 of my good friends. They also have amazing Substacks on their own, and they have their own voices and are finding their own voices, and are in different portions of their journey. Everybody here is in a different portion of our journey on Substack as creators. Stephanie is the most advanced out of all of us. She's been doing this the longest of the group, podcasting it. At
I've
least
been
on the
podcasting. I
podcasting
don't know
side.
about advanced, but yeah,
You
I
know a
do.
lot about podcasting. You're
It's true.
advanced.
Okay.
And I
Yeah, I've been
think,
doing it for about 2 years.
I'm
yeah,
very
I've
impressed
only,
with you guys. I mean, Nick and Stephanie, you've been involved with pretty big names out there, like on Substack. Anyways, like I mean, it's just
well,
you
and it's fun
Leaders.
because
Mhm.
we get to help so there's Substack allows you to do cross posting, which is where you cross post articles from someone's Substack into yours so that it drives views straight to the original author, not to you.
Mhm.
Mhm.
What we
Mhm.
tend to do in our community is cross guesting, is where one of us gets a guest and then we help introduce that guest to everybody else in our community who asks, hey, can I have that guest on? I'd love to meet them. And we either host with each other and then connect through that way. We get the word out through each other because we're building a community that wants to talk back and forth. I've met some amazing people through Stephanie, um, and I get to talk to Marlon Weems tomorrow.
Oh, yay.
Wow.
He's
And I get to
phenomenal.
talk, and then I get to
Mhm.
talk to him next week on right before Thanksgiving on Palin Talk. So, like,
Wow.
I wouldn't have met Marlon unless I was a podcaster, and I started this community. Um, and I credit a lot of it too to Melissa Corrigan
Oh
and
yeah.
Lawrence Winterman and Dana Dubois because I just joined a chat one time because I saw that Melissa was um, on a live, and I was like, oh, I've never actually listened to Melissa talk, but I like her work.
Mm.
And then I met Dana and Lawrence, and I started going to their show every morning. So if you don't know, go to Dana and Lawrence, go to Gen XE. I'm going to free promote their show here because I can, and they're my good friends. Their show is at 10 a.m. Eastern time every morning, Monday through Friday, and then noon Eastern Saturdays. Um, it's just a culture show. It's fun. They're
Yeah,
great,
they get
but they
such good
introduced
guests, like
they
6
do
a week. I mean, it's insane.
that. They're so good at what they're doing too. They're amazing hosts, and I've gotten a lot of my guests from them too. Like I've built up a lot of my community through them, and they know that, and I thank them for it all the time, um, because um, I would love to invite Dr. Hassan on. That would be great.
I want to
Like
be
Mhm.
there. I
What
want
is
to be there.
if I could meet Dr. Hassan, that would be fantastic.
what
Yes,
is that?
great
Who's
suggestion.
talking?
Somebody says,
He's
can you
he's
invite?
the cult
Okay, so
expert and author.
I was a guest with him
Were you?
on Network Nova Friday, whatever, their Friday power lunch. And he's like, yeah, let's get together. And then he has not, I shouldn't out him like this, but he has not responded to any of my advances.
Oh,
So
That's okay. We'll reach out again. I'll reach
yeah,
out too. I have
he's
this
ready.
apparent like magic touch that I just like reach out to people and they're like, yeah, sure, I'll come on to your show. Um, I don't know why. I don't do anything different. I don't do anything special. I don't think. I just reach out to people.
It's because you're
And
Nick the wizard.
Yes.
I
wizard. That's
magic.
exactly.
It's
wizard.
He's like the internet wizard. Well, more than
Well, I
that.
was in
Like,
tech for a while, so I at least know that side. But I don't take any. I'm hopefully taking less of the bad shit from tech because I like the tech community right now is so gross, like so disgustingly toxic and over hyper masculine and fake
oh, yeah.
meritocracy culture. Um, But I did take one good lesson, which was Conway's Law, which is systems are built. Simple definition of Conway's Law is um, businesses are structured and built on the way their communication systems are structured. And so that can also be applied to everything. All like it can absolutely apply to other services. Is government is structured in the same way that we structure its communication systems. So right now we're having a breakdown in our government system because there is no transparency and there's no visibility. And so it's reflected because all of their all communications are private and behind closed doors. Whereas I like to do things really in public and open for everybody to see because I think transparency is huge and that's the key to democracy, but it's also the key to winning like culture back. Like the I'm here to build a culture that's better than what we have. Like I want to help build a culture where people can talk about chronic illnesses and not be seen as a burden or you're not paying taxes, RFK fucking Jr. Go fuck yourself.
Or even just like, will you stop fucking complaining already? Like,
Mhm.
I feel like I had to tell my husband. He'd be like, "Oh, I'm really sorry you had such a hard day." I was like, "Can you, like, I can't define my day by how I'm feeling because I always feel like shit. So like, let's stop
Yeah.
saying how bad a day I had and like, let me like focus on the stuff that was good and not just the time I was sitting on the couch with cold packs and hot packs and whatever, you know?"
You know what you just said reminds me of, because sometimes people, when they don't get that, you're like, you have to imagine that if you don't have a chronic illness that causes pain, your pain level, you know, that question that nurses will ask you,
Stupidest
like,
question
what do
ever.
you feel? What's your level of pain on 0 to 10? It's like, you know, people will be like, I don't know, I'm not in the hospital, so I have 0. But when you have chronic pain, you don't know what 0 is anymore. You have a low pain like level that's always there. It's like, is it maybe 2, 3? I don't know what it is for you guys. Mine changes, but for sure, it's never
My
0.
baseline low would be a 4, I think. My mom sent me like a chart one time.
Yeah.
That's the like chronic illness or like specifically it's the fibro chart of
You
like
have it?
here's where most people. I'll send you a picture of it.
Yeah, I'd
If
like
I
to
can
see that
find it.
because
I'd like to see it.
my problem
It's
is
just
like, what is everybody's 10? Like my 10 is like,
10 is about a 6 or 7 for us on average.
okay, because like when they say, oh, and I'm like, well, my back hurts and my leg hurts and my head hurts, but it doesn't hurt that badly. So is that a 4 or is that a 7? You know, like,
I think of it,
What
we
about
start at
the
a
little
4 and go to
faces?
13. That's really what it is. It's that face graph, but instead of starting at 0 for fibro, it starts at 4 and goes to 13. And you're like, this is what my pain scale really feels like, but I have to lie to you and tell you on your pain scale what it feels like, because otherwise you don't believe me. Like, I can go into a doctor into the ER and go, I'm at an 8 and look almost like I do right now. And they're like,
Yep.
no, the fuck you're not. I'm like, I can't
Mhm.
fucking move or feel my legs or my hands. I'm in pain that you cannot imagine. Like I have a migraine through the roof. It's just, I can tolerate it because I live at a 4 at a baseline. Like 0 isn't a thing for us. So
It's
I'm
something
so
you have to
excited to get
ignore.
some more people on here too
yeah.
to talk about that. Like Sushi, I'm excited to
Mhm.
meet you and get you on. Eric, I can't wait to have you on too.
Lanita,
And have
yeah,
some
you should
discussion.
definitely, Lanita, DM me, and anybody else who expressed interest. I can't see all of the chat; is going too fast, but DM me.
I know I can't either. I'm trying
Oh,
to catch
Lanita,
it.
yeah, I see you put out something about your background too. Talk with Steph and we'll I like talking about cults too. I
Mhm.
almost joined one.
Really?
Yeah.
A cult.
Uh,
Kind of
yeah.
surprised.
Do you guys want to hear that story real quick?
Yeah.
Well, yeah.
I know I kind of monologued for a
Does the
bit
chat want to hear?
today. Does anybody in the chat want to hear that one time that Nick almost joined a cult and his family almost joined a cult in Panama? Not the
Whoa,
US,
it's like a real
but
life.
outside, a real life cult. Um,
Oh, they're not answering.
Nobody's answering. Does anybody want to smash the heart if you
There's
want?
holy hell document.
Okay.
Yes.
Okay, we've got some
Outstanding.
yeses. So yeah,
Okay.
off you go.
Okay. So
5 minutes.
yeah, real quick. Towards the end of COVID, we had been isolated basically with like 3 or 4 families for the entire time of COVID. And one of the families we trauma bonded with after our very close friend died. Um, and her husband were living with us and their daughter were living with us at the time, and they were very, very, very close. And our friend died, and then we trauma bonded with some folks, and they were into the unschooling
Oh yes.
teaching methodology. And I won't out anything about them other than that. And we traveled with them, and they sort of convinced us a little bit to go down to Panama with them to meet this group run by a couple South African families who were into unschooling and world schooling and wanted to buy part of an island in Panama, off the coast of Panama, that was up for sale, that they kept saying they were about to buy, and then they never ended up buying it. And we all lived together on this weird little compound for a while, and it got really. We figured it out after they love bombed us for a while, and it ended up breaking our friendship up with the other family, which is kind of okay, because we probably needed it, because trauma bonding with people is not always healthy. And we figured it out when they became very anti-vaccine, and were like got mad at us because both of us were in the military and got the COVID shots and got all sorts of vaccines because it was required while we were in the military. Like, you have no choice. You get the vaccines or you don't go in. So all those anti-vaxxers who are about to join the military because they want to be white crusaders, good fucking luck. You got to take the shot. And they'll force you to take it if you don't want it, or you get out. Sorry, that's the rules. Anyway, they were super anti-vaccine. And then the leader of it she was very spiritual, but she thought of herself on a higher plane than everybody else. And she was doing
That's a
like
sign.
weird, like meditative, like hypnotherapy stuff. And yeah, so
Great,
we
and
almost
I'm
joined the
writing
cult.
the,
And then
I'm
we
writing the
left.
thing.
You
And
just
then we
like
left. And we were like, we're out. We like, some stuff went down, and they accused our son of being someone who he's not, because he was isolated, and he was also ADHD, very smart kid, but had never left anywhere else. So we were traveling. He was young. He didn't know what was going on. He was getting bug bites and stuff. He was allergic to something down there. So we would have never been able to stay anyway. And he was unmedicated at the time. So medication works. ADHD meds really do work. If they were properly medicated and dosed, they work really, really well. I am an example of it. My son is. But yeah, we almost got sucked into a cult in Panama, and they tried to get me to help write a like cryptocurrency for them, and like all these cool ideas that were trying to suck me in because I was on the tech side. They wanted us to invest a whole bunch of money into this crypto thing.
Right
and
away, that's a scam.
My wife and I were like, yeah, no, we're not going to do that. They wanted us to buy a boat for them. And I was like, that kind of makes sense for an island. Like, we need a boat, but like, we're not going to be there to use it until we decide to come back. So it's not going to be our boat. And you guys want to use it. I was like, things are getting weird. So yeah, that was my trip down memory lane to almost join a cult.
What about
nice.
thinking of that, like that memory, Nick? How do you feel that it relates to our topic here, like talking about the mind, and remembering our mind?
Well, I also want to ask too, as part of Sosa's question, is how does that make you feel in your body? Like,
Yeah,
does that give you a different sensation when you're talking about it than
good
otherwise?
point.
I think I've sat with it for a long time because it's been years now since this happened. And so I'm able to not disassociate with it, but understand it. And understand and look back and see what type of like cult techniques were being used against us to try and lure us in and keep us there. And I'm someone who's also trained in these types of techniques and how to use that type of speech pathology and information collection because I was a trained interrogator for the military. That was my job in the Army. Um, and it just shows that anybody can be susceptible if you're in a very dark place. It gives me empathy for the people who are in like MAGA, who have
Yeah.
indoctrinated and lied into it their whole lives or have no ability to not be indoctrinated into it, like children specifically. So it gives me empathy for them, but it also gives me an understanding to be able to how like it gives me a lot of understanding and knowledge on why I push back in the ways I do.
Yeah.
And it informs pretty much everything. I think how I act against MAGA right now or towards MAGA and what's going on in the US because it's a cult and I've been near one and I was almost in one and I push back against it. That's why I picked a fight with someone this morning about rebranding the Republicans to the regressive rather than conservatives because they're not conservative, they're regressive. And it's like, yeah, okay, we can do multiple things. Like I know what I'm talking about. Anyway, it does make me feel good that I didn't join the cult in the end. And it does make me feel good that I was able to make a good parenting choice because ultimately the choice that we made was it healthy for our children? And the answer was very obviously no. And so we left. So I think for maybe other parents, if you can make that choice, is it healthy for your children? If the answer is no, you should probably leave. Like it's probably a bad place to be. So that was my big lesson out of it, I think. Did that answer the questions? I don't know if that actually did or not.
I think so.
I think so. Yeah.
Mhm.
So we're reaching just the top of the hour. And I want to make sure we value everybody's time. We have 324 people in our Substack chat.
That's like one of our records.
Wow.
It's the largest we've ever had. I think our record before this was 250 something, like 250, 260. Thank you, everyone, for joining us and
Yeah,
being a
thank
part of
you.
this discussion. I'm going to move over to our next screen, which is where I get to have all my friends sell themselves and tell you how amazing they are and where you can find them and how you can support their work and the amazing things that they're doing. And I don't know if I have all the most up-to-date logos for everyone anymore because I know people have been working on things in the background with everybody. So if you three want to give me some logos, and Sushi, if you want to DM me a logo for your Substack, I will happily add a QR code for you for next week, just like I do everybody. And sorry, I'm trying to find Sosa. I don't even know if your code's going to work because you changed it, but we'll see. We're going to start in the top right corner today with my good friend Beth Cruz.
Thank you. Hi, I'm Beth Cruz. You can find me under my name, or I'm working on The Possibilitarian's Light as my other site. I write currently about trauma, but I hope to write more about life in general, not so dark. So thank you for following.
Thank you.
That was brief.
And Beth is awesome.
That was brief. Go subscribe with Beth. Go become a free subscriber with Beth. Go follow her work. go help her out. I don't know if you've unlocked paid yet, but if you have,
I
go through-
haven't. I'm a little brain foggy this morning, but
Yeah,
that's
that's
why
all.
I'm like, that was short.
Well,
Yeah, please. I'm considering paid, but I haven't yet. I'm only. I guess I can turn it on and just leave it up to people, but I want to keep everything free.
Yeah,
I really do.
absolutely.
Yeah.
But just help support her work, get out more, and become a free subscriber and follower of hers. Scan the QR code in the show at the end. I always link to my friends at the end. So go subscribe to them. Also hit the Chiron in the left corner if you're in Substack, and become a free subscriber to all of us.
Oh, thank you, Nick.
Next is my good friend So. I haven't updated yours yet, so you'll have to send me new stuff too. But So, sell yourself, my friend.
Well, what can I say? I always say this at the beginning. I feel like a part-time Substacker because I am grounded in reality, taking care of my family, and yeah. But I do try to go out there, and as you can see on my profile pictures, I like photography, I like nature, I like animals. But I also like humans and humans connections because I have a master's in psychology. I used to be a psychologist. So I've got lots of interest, but not a psychologist anymore. Don't ask me for advice. I might just say you should try to find a very good therapist, but I know they're hard to find these days. But social support is very important, which is I feel like why is I'm here also because I want to be involved in something bigger than myself. I guess that's it. So I do bitch about politics, but if you want to try, I mean, more and more, I'm going to put more pictures, like nature, animals, if you want to follow me. I mean, also like Beth, I don't feel like I don't know. We'll see. I will see if I will have paid subscribers, but for now I'm not there yet. Although anyways, this is between us guys. We'll
That's
see.
okay.
Yeah.
Just between us friends, you should still go follow So.
Thank you.
Because
Thank
she's
you for
amazing.
that.
Yes.
Just like Beth, free subscribe, become a follower, help their work just get out, because they're finding their voices and they're on their parts of their journeys. And I want to help them wherever they are on their journey. So go build this community with all of us, and support So too. And next, my good friend Stephanie Wilson, Doctor of History.
I have had I realized that my podcast, Freedom Over Fascism, is actually not 2 years old. It's almost 3 years old.
Wow.
Where I have a live stream Tuesdays and Wednesdays at 1 p.m. Eastern, and I talk to historians and experts and elected officials and all sorts of people who can help provide context to the moment that we're in, that can help build community among all of those who are fighting for freedom, and for those who can help us understand what actions that we can take as individuals and collectively to rescue this country and bring freedom back and free America. So I can be found at freedomoverfascism.us. That goes straight to my Substack. My DMs are open, and I have 99 episodes. So there's lots, if you want to check out the back catalog, there's a bunch there too.
That's amazing.
So, thank you. Yeah, I'm really close to 100. It's pretty exciting. And if you can subscribe, and if you can paid subscribe, that would be great. All of my stuff is free. My content is free because I think it needs to be, but I still need to try to support myself and my family. So anything you can give is totally welcome. So thank you.
Yes. And just like I said about my other friends, is free, paid, whatever you can do to help subscribe, share, restack, forward the emails. The cool thing about subscribing is you get the emails and then you can forward those to your friends. You can, like, it's super easy. You don't even have to work for it. And you get to hear Stephanie's voice for 99 prior episodes.
You can tell from the very beginning when I didn't know what the hell I was doing. And I
It's a
only started
learning process.
videoing them in the middle, so a lot of it's only audio. So
I love the like old episodes of podcasts because you're like, the microphones are bad, their studios are weird, and then you're like, oh, they finally got enough money to upgrade, and look at them now. So help Stephanie continue to upgrade her
yeah,
studios.
I'm still using a Blue Yeti, and I think I need a better microphone. So
So become a free pay or a paid subscriber and help her get there. Thanks, Stephanie. I appreciate it.
Great, thank you, Nick. And all of you
then-
guys. I love you guys. Love you guys.
Love you guys too. And
Oh, I forgot to say. Can I say one more thing?
yes. We're not going anywhere. I have to sell myself too.
Yeah. Okay. Well, so my husband and I and a third partner also run a leadership coaching and development company that is based in leading by humaning, better humaning, and leading from anywhere you sit in the world as actions as opposed to inherent qualities. So that's at becognitionlabs.com if that is something that you're interested for yourself or your company or your whatever. And I'll put it in the chat. And thank you very much.
I will grab that QR code, or I'll make a QR code for that one too. Do you want to send me an image for it, and I can make
will do that
on here for you? I think that'd be
Oops,
awesome.
wrong.
I love cross promoting.
All right.
Awesome.
All you, Nick.
And finally, I'm going to sell myself for a moment. Please join me here at Sick of the Shit Publications. This is my main publication. Obviously, it's where we do chronic illness discussions, which is now called Chronically Illing Out or Chilling Out for short.
Really good, Nick. Good idea. Wow.
Thanks. It took a while to figure out a good name for this one. I'm starting to do animate, like the intro screen is animated now, so there's a little bit of video editing I'm starting to animate some backgrounds for my shows and like texture and life to them. So I'm upgrading a little bit. So become a paid subscriber and help me continue to upgrade. Like, I don't have a microphone yet that's outside of my headphones. And I'm still paying off this computer that I bought for podcasting. So please come become a paid subscriber. It's 50% off right now for my publication, but also free really helps. Like, the most important thing is getting the word out. So first, become free subscriber to me, to all my friends. Become paid subscriber to Stephanie because she's the only other one who offers it yet. And then if you have anything left, become a paid subscriber to me too. Help support me, build up this network, build up this community. We're going to end today's show with 343 roughly folks, 345-ish folks in our Substack chat, 2 folks in our other channels. We have new folks that we are going to be inviting on. You're going to be seeing Sushi Philiac next week. And then we're going to plan with one of my founding contributors, Eric, or founding subscribers. So if you want to become a founding subscriber, I'm open to those too. That one's a little bit different, and it's $200 annually, and you get an annually commissioned poem. I'm still working on some poems for folks, and so you get some artwork out of it. It's my way of thanking you for becoming a founding subscriber with me, and I'm working on post credits for the shows too, so hold on there. We're going to be trying to upgrade soon, but thank you everyone for joining today. Thank you for being a part of our chronic illness discussion. Thank you for being a part of this community. Thank you for interactions and the comments and engagement today. It helped drive parts of the discussion. It was a lot of fun. And as I always say, and as we're going to do at the end of, well, other than our hearts that we always give each other because we love each other, is now that we're done being sick of this shit, let's start going and doing this shit because we have a lot of work to do, not a lot of time. And I want to make this community strong so that nobody gets left behind. Nobody is unseen. So let's keep doing it, friends. I love y'all. We're going to have a great day. Hearts
Same.
for everybody.
Thank you.
We're working on getting everybody into the heart game. So thank you, everybody. Thanks,
All right,
everyone.